don't mind, can we please appreciate all our virtual members who have joined us online? Let's thank God on their behalf. I want to thank Pastor for giving me this opportunity to bring the word this morning. Amen. The theme for this month is complete in Him. Complete in Him. And our focus this month is going to be on marriage, family, and relationship. Somebody say, I am complete in Him. But the topic for today says, watch your word. Watch your word. Watch the things that you say. Watch your word. The text is in Ephesians 4:29. Like I said, we're going to relate this to families because it's a month for families, relationship, and stuff. Ephesians 4:29, New Living Translation says, don't use foul or abusive language. I take it again. Ephesians 4:29, NLT says, don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. The Message version says, watch the way you talk. Let nothing foul or dirty come out of your mouth. Say only what helps. Each word a gift. Let me start by saying that one of the hardest senses to tame in any relationship and generally is the tongue. The Bible says in James 3:7-10, it says all kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. Verse 9 says, with the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse human beings who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. The Message version is so interesting. It said, this is scary. You can tame a tiger, but you can't tame a tongue. It's never been done. The tongue runs wild, a wanton killer. With our tongues we bless God our Father. With the same tongues we curse the very men and women He made in His image. Curses and blessings out of the same mouth. My friends, this can't go on. Watch your word. Somebody will say, and I was asking myself, I'm upset about something. One of the easiest ways I feel I can express my anger is to use abusive words. And in fact, in some cases, you think that you not using abusive words, the fellow you are trying to correct will not understand. How do I make the person understand that, hey, you have done something wrong, except I use abusive words? Watch your tongue. Again, like I said, we're going to relate this to marriage. But before then, let's even look at a situation that is not related to marriage. I titled this, The Foolish Words of Nabal. 1 Samuel 25:7-10 says, now I hear that it is sheep shearing time. When your shepherds were with us, we did not mistreat them. And the whole time they were at Carmel, nothing of theirs was missing. Ask your own servants and they will tell you. Therefore, be favorable toward my men. That's David sending a message to Nabal. Since we come at the festive time, please give your servants and your son David whatever you can find for them. Kind words. When David's men arrived, they gave Nabal this message in David's name. Then they waited. Nabal answered David's servants, who is this David? Who is this son of Jesse? Many servants are breaking away from their masters these days. Why should I take my bread and water and the meat I have slaughtered for my shearers and give it to men coming from who knows where? At times we just use our mouth to look for trouble for ourselves. I'm sure this man doesn't know what David is capable of. Let me go to verse 18. Abigail this was after, from 14, it says, one of the servants told Abigail, Nabal's wife, David sent messengers from the wilderness to give our master his greetings, but he hurled insult at them. Yet these men were very good to us. They did not mistreat us, and the whole time we were out in the fields near them, nothing was missing. Night and day, they were a wall around us. The whole time we were heading our sheep near them. Now think it over and see what you can do, because disaster is hanging over our master and his whole household. He is such a wicked man that no one can talk to him. Imagine a servant telling the wife. And Abigail acted quickly. She took 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 dressed sheep, 5 seeds of roasted grain, 100 cakes of raisin, and 200 cakes of pressed figs, and loaded them on donkeys. Then she told her servants, go on ahead, I will follow you. But she did not tell her husband Nabal. 25 says, please pay no attention. She was talking to David now. Please pay no attention, my lord, to that wicked man Nabal. He is just like his name. His name means fool, and folly goes with him. And as for me, your servant, I did not see the men my lord sent. Watch your word. Now, why should we watch our words? Why? I'm just going to state on one point. Words leave scars. Words leave scars. You can apologize after saying something hurtful, but you cannot unsay it. You can't unsay it. You have said it already. And some words linger for years. In fact, some words linger forever. One day my son got in trouble and they reported him to me. I would have told him over and over, don't do this again. Stop. Don't do it. That day the mom was so upset and she said, this boy has done this again. I looked at him. What should I even do to this boy? And I told him, since you have refused to change, I will return you to your parents. There was confusion. To your parents. How? Everybody started looking. In fact, the elder brother came to my room, knocked. Dad, did you mean what you just said? You know, they started looking at each other. Do I look like? Are we related? Himself was confused. After I told him, he came and said, that thing you said, did you mean? I said, do you like our family? He said, yes. Then you two change. Then I told him it was just a joke. See, words are very, very powerful. How then do you avoid saying words that can leave scars, especially between couples? I'm going to couples now. Because these are things that are happening, especially people who are within my age range. How do you avoid it? Know your trigger point. Know your trigger point. If you recognize your triggers, you can better manage your reactions when you are hot about something. And as you learn yours, learn that of your spouse too. Most times in relationship, we are selfish. We run it based on me, myself, and I. And I've seen that so much among people of my age. You must know your trigger points, know things that gets you upset. For some, just walking away from that situation, that moment, works for them. For some, they're able to deal with it right on, without using abusive words. Because words, whenever you say it, you cannot say it. You have said it already. So how we address these things are very, very important. Because some of us get so upset that we run the other person down. And I use myself and my wife as an example. Both of us are extremely passionate people about what we do. I'm extremely passionate about the things I do, and she's very, very passionate. There are times, if you lock me up in the studio to produce music, I don't need food, I don't need money, just keep me there. But it went on and on. I knew it was affecting my marriage. And she's so concerned about what to say that will not kill my passion. If you keep my wife in the daycare, she can be living there for weeks. Just bring food, keep. But we needed to devise a means around that. How to help each other without using abusive words, and also not to run our passions down. You know, the passion is important. Now, she figured out that the easiest way, if I'm in the studio In fact, I replicated the studio at home, in church, in my house, just so that when I leave church, I get home and I continue. And she devised a means. She didn't have to. She just said, "Oh, how is your second wife?" I knew she's referring to the studio. So the moment she says, I knew it's time to get off whatever I'm doing. I had to also look for a way. When she stays so long in daycare, I'll just text her, "Did you see the Amazon guy coming to drop mattress for you? So you can sleep there." She knows that, oh, it's time to come home. So we must find a way of talking to each other with grace. Not the use of abusive words. Point number 2, good content, but bad tone. You have something nice to say. You're upset. And I'm relating to couples now. You're upset about something. The tone is important. "Why did you do this when you know I don't like it? Why? That's a good content, but a bad tone. There's nothing wrong in saying, "Why did you do this when you know I don't like it? Why? Thirdly, good tone, but bad content. That one is even dangerous. Good tone, but bad content. You have just hurt your spouse, and you are trying to apologize, and you are using a good tone. "I'm sorry for what I did. But you know, even you, if your brain was working well." I'm rounding up now because I don't want to overload too many things. But I'm addressing people of my age. See, do everything you can to make your marriage work. Do everything. There's no better man. There's no, do everything you can to make your marriage work. Most times we try to import things from other people's families, say, "This is what they do here. This is what we must do." No. Know what works for your family. Some few years back, I discovered that even when my wife comes back home, she's carrying a laptop. She's still working on the laptop, or she's on the phone. We're even trying to greet her. She's like, and I do the same thing. But I'm the kind of person that in the process of trying to correct something, I also hate to hurt my wife. And I looked at this, and I also do that too. At times I'm on the phone, I'm just talking, and the boys are even like, "Dad," like, "Oh, sorry, I'm coming." And it ends that way. But one day, a few years back, I was talking with Pastor on the phone. We're just gisting about different things. And Pastor drove from church to the house. I think I was probably in the studio when we were just talking and laughing. And when he got to his house, he said, "Brother, I need to go now. Because in our house, there's a rule that if you're making a call, you have to end the call outside before you enter the house." Wow, that makes sense to me. So I went and I rang with my wife. I said, "This is what Pastor does in his house. So that if you're making a call, in fact, if you like, stay outside till midnight. Just make sure you don't enter the house with that phone call, so that you can at least say hi to your spouse, say hi to your children." Pastor, it's been working for me. Now, it worked for me. It doesn't mean that I'm just saying this. I imported that from Pastor's family. It's working for me. I'm not saying you should do the same. So look for what works for your family. One thing that we try to do, myself and my wife, is to make sure we talk. Because one of the things, again, within my people of my age, is communication. We have serious communication issues. We try to talk. Those who know me know. We talk. Every day I must ask her, "How did your day go?" In fact, any day I don't ask, it's like we're drifting apart. I must ask her every day, "How did your day go?" And she asks me, "How did mine go?" And we just encourage each other every day. In fact, it got so interesting to the point that the days that we're in church, and I'm telling you what I do in my family, it doesn't mean you should do the same. The days we're in church, like Tuesdays, we stay longer in church, and choir practice at times we're in church till 11:30. Do you know I go back home, drop my car at home, take Uber to church, just so that I can drive out home, and we drive together and talk. Because most times when we go home late, we are tired. There's no time to talk. Now it's working for me. Look for what works in your family. I can't make calls to her during the day, because if you call her and say, no, I'm at work, I will have children here. Now, for some people, it could just be phone calls. There are people who can stay on the phone talking with. So look for what works in your home. See, do everything that you can to make your marriage work. One of the challenges is that we don't get time to study each other. We are so selfish. I discovered my wife, is hard for her during the day to cook. I love to cook a lot. I'm the cook in my house. In fact, it's so embarrassing at times that my boys come that there's no granite oil in the house. It's as bad as that. So at times I'm like, go and talk to your mom now. Why are you asking me? But I'm the cook. Except she has a kitchen, whatever. I support her with that. Now, it works for me. But yours could be that, oh, your wife is too busy. You can order food. Order food. See, people of my age, and I'm serious about this, one of the major issues we have is communication. You're in the car with your wife. You're even going for a date. You're still not talking. You're on the phone, chatting. There's no time to talk. And the truth is that your children are watching. They see what you are doing, and they feel that this is the right example. So it's important. Back to the topic. Watch your word. Watch the things that you say. Speak to each other with grace. See, there's a way you talk to. See, my first son, you don't have to beat him. Just talk. When you talk something, he can just go, oh my God, I've really, really messed up. And you don't have to say abusive words. And so are some people. You must know what things to say to your spouse that will help your spouse. You must know what things to say to your husband that will help, and you resolve those issues. And don't you ever go to bed without resolving any issue. It's also a room in my home. No matter how upset you are, you cannot leave the room to go and sleep in the guest room. We must sleep on the same bed. I may be too young to be saying some of these things. You see, I'm facing younger people. I'm not facing the elders because I know they are there. But please, I beg you, be involved in each other's lives. Be involved. I'm also still learning. I'm still learning. When I go into marriage, my wife taught me how to talk like this, even though she doesn't talk. I can be in a place and I'm just extremely quiet. But she likes to resolve every issue. Oh, let's talk about this. I don't think this is right. But I think that there's no need. Let me just leave this. And I end up just bottling some of those things. But she has taught me to talk about every issue. Talk about it. And it just goes. I beg you. And I don't know why I'm saying this, especially to young adults. I beg you. Because if you look at the rate of divorce, it's within the age of 30 to 45. Please, I beg you, do everything that you can to make your marriage work. Praise the name of the Lord. Can you please rise on?